All right, good afternoon, everyone. We're going to roll into our post-race media availability for today's Cheese It 355 here at the Glen. We've now been joined by our second-place finisher, driver of the number 18 M&M's Crispy Toyota, Kyle Busch. And Kyle, a solid second-place finish for your team. You have now officially moved into the top 30 in the series standings. Just talk a little bit about your day here at Watkins Glen.
Our day was really good. We had a really fast race car. I felt like we had one of the cars, if not the car, to beat. We just never really got to the front in order to show it, So even there early when we were up front, we came to pit road for our first stop before I could quite get to the lead. And then there again at the end of the race, we just got to the lead, just past Brad on that restart there, and was trying to check out and get as far out that we could and get as big of a lead as we could, so when people started to come back down pit road that it would allow us to not lose as much time to those guys that were just going to take fuel only. But man, those cautions all in a row just killed us. That was our race today. Just wasn't meant to be. Obviously there were just too many things working against us, and it wasn't going to be able to we weren't going to be able to get back through all of that and prevail. So we almost did. We probably had a shot to, but there at the end, once I got past David Reagan, I started to lose the rear tires a little bit, but still felt like I was fast enough to catch the 22 and still ran him down, got by the 20, and was within 3 car lengths of the 22. And that's about when I was probably told a few laps before that actually to start saving a little bit just in case guys started running out. But just wasn't meant to be on what we needed today, and the M&M's Crispy Camry comes home second, so it's all right.
All right, we'll go ahead and take questions for Kyle. If you have one, please raise your hand, state your name and affiliation, and we're going to start up front here with Bob and then Nate.
Bob Puckers, ESPN. Everybody talks about how they want a road course race in the chase. How different would this strategy be, and would you be able to stomach it if it was in the chase? And I have a follow-up to that.
Yeah, I don't know what a road course chase in a race would look like, but certainly I think it would be pretty fun. You always race them backwards, so everybody always tries to have that final pit stop within a window or even outside of their fuel window, and they bank on cautions being able to make it, similar to today. So it would be tough. I think you would see those guys that would play the strategy kind of more safely like we did and pit on their real number. Obviously you've got to have a fast car to be able to come through the field and in order to be able to play that strategy. So I felt like Adam did the exact right thing. I would actually kind of enjoy seeing probably, this road race here in the chase, and, maybe we add another road course to the schedule, but not in the chase, maybe mid-year somewhere.
And a follow-up, will you guys have any idea what your fuel, we've seen 2 fuel mileage races in a row. Next week, a different package you've never used with drafting at Michigan. Will you have a good idea of what your fuel mileage is by race day?
Good question. Probably. You will single car, but of course, like you said, if you're going to be drafting and utilizing the draft and being able to roll out of the throttle and stuff, it's going to change a lot during the race. It's going to be quite drastic. So from being by yourself in practice to then being in the race, it's going to be way different. But we saw some of that at Indy. So, we ran up front. We ran by ourselves in practice, and then we kind of ran up front. We ran within some other guys and drafted a little bit and whatnot. So we were able to learn probably what fuel mileage numbers looked like a little bit there to somewhat prepare ourselves for next week.
All right, Nate, go ahead.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. I've got 2 for you too, Kyle. Adam was worried about a green-white checkered finish and kept telling you to conserve. Did that play into it at all? If he would have just turned you loose, do you think you could have raced Logano for the win? Or?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, definitely. I was running hard, and I ran hard that whole run to get myself up to as far as I did. And then, like I said, when I got past the 20, I still felt like I could catch the 22. I still felt like if I was given the opportunity, I'd go up there and run with him. I could have and would have, and we would have been the race for the win. It would have been a tough race for the win, but still, that's when Logano would pick off a car, I'd pick off a car. When Logano would pick off a car, I'd pick off a car. I never quite got close enough to him in order to try to pick him off, but that just didn't happen today.
And is there any sense, it was a foregone conclusion, but getting into the top 30 and getting over that hump, is there any relief there for you and the team that you have to worry about that? Or?
Yeah, no doubt. I think that was probably some of Adam's worry today too. Was we couldn't afford running out of gas like we did last week and taking home an even worse finish this week because of how many cars finish on the lead lap typically at a road course. So we'd be back in the 30s probably somewhere. But I'm sure that was weighing on Adam's mind on being able to save it and make it to the end and just playing it a little bit more cautious, which is fine. I'm with that. I'm with Adam 100% of the way all the time. He's doing a great job right now. So. We've obviously got some things clicking, and he knows what he's doing. So for me to argue that point doesn't make any sense. But for us to be in the top 30 right now, that obviously allows us to change our mindset maybe a little bit here going forward. We maybe could have played this race a little bit differently if we were like the 4 car who had absolutely nothing to lose. And, lo and behold, they run out and they come home 3rd. We run out and we come home 21st last week, so just a good day overall for us, though, with our bunch.
All right, I believe I saw a hand to my left. Okay, we can get a microphone, please. Thank you.
Chris Gill from the Leader. Given recent history here, were you guys surprised there was no last yellow on that long run to the finish?
Yeah, no doubt. I think everybody was. Rodney Childers probably called on the radio like he did last week. I think it was Rod. No, it wasn't Rodney. Rodney was gone. Somebody called on the radio last week and said there's a 100% chance we're going to have a caution in this last window, I don't know if it's ever 100, but it could be pretty close to that. And today, same thing. It was just crazy how we ran all the way to the end like that, and nobody had any troubles. A couple cars got off course, I think, but they all were able to recover and keep going.
Any final questions for Kyle? All right, Kyle, we appreciate your time today.
Thanks.